Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So, can someone begin to read, please?
I can read.
Yes,
Teachings to
please.
Sanatana Goswami. From the instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami, we can understand the science of God as it relates to God's transcendental form, his opulences, and his devotional service. Indeed, everything will be explained to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord himself. First, Sanatan fell at the feet of the Lord and with great humility asked about his own real identity. I was born in a lower family, Sanatan said. My associations are all abominable, and I am fallen, the most wretched of mankind. I was suffering in the dark well of material enjoyment, and I never had learned the actual goal of my life. Indeed, I do not even know what is beneficial for me. Although in the mundane sphere, I am what is known as greatly learned man. I am in fact such a fool that I also think I am learned. You have accepted me as your servant, and you have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Now, please tell me what my duty is in this liberated state.
So then, Sanatan Goswami. So now we just heard that Lord Chaitanya is going to speak to Sanatan Goswami about the science of God. Science of God. It's not only a theoretical knowledge, but actually practical knowledge. We can engage in devotional service, thereby we can see God, be with God, go back home, back to Godhead. See God, transcendental form, hear about his form, his opulences, his devotional service. So Sanatana Goswami, the very first point he puts, Sanatana Goswami, great learned scholar, huh? And he's coming in a very good family, Brahmana family. And yet the humility he's approaching Lord Chaitanya with, something we can learn. That when we are putting questions, then it's with great humility. And he's asking, who am I? He's asked about his own real identity. So he's taking our position. He's asking for our benefit. He's saying, I don't have any good association. I'm lowest of the low. I don't know what to do, what not to do. I'm just enjoying in this material life, but but I was suffering there. And I didn't understand what is goal of life. We are thinking that enjoying in the material world is the goal of life, but no. There is the fifth Purushartha, the Krishna Prema, love of God. That is the actual goal of human life. So he's saying, I'm a fool. This is a position that he's taking with great humility. And he's saying that I'm grateful to you, my dear Lord Chaitanya, that you have taken me and you've given me shelter at your lotus feet. You have accepted me as your servant, that you are bringing me out of this material world. Now you tell me what's my duty. What is my duty in this liberated state? Understanding, okay, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Now what's the duty?
From this plea, we can understand that liberation is not the final goal in perfection. There must be activities in liberation. Sanatan clearly says, you have saved me from the entanglement of material existence. Now, after liberation, what is my duty? Kindly explain it to me. Sanatan further inquired, Who am I? Why are the threefold miseries always giving me trouble? And finally, please tell me how I can be relieved from this material entanglement. I do not know how to question you about advancement in spiritual life, but I beg that you kindly, mercifully let me know everything from you.
So Sanatan Goswami is further putting the question. He's saying, I don't even know all the questions that I should be asking you, because he's saying, I'm so fallen, I don't even know what questions I should ask. So kindly, you, out of your own mercy, let me know. And then Prabhupada points out that we can understand that liberation is not the final goal. Real life actually begins from the point of liberation. Because once when one is liberated, then what does he do? Now, after liberation, what is my duty? Kindly explain it to me. That's what he wants to know. What does a liberated soul do? And then he's saying, why are these threefold miseries giving me trouble? And who am I? The threefold miseries, does anyone know what are the threefold miseries?
Adhyatmik, Adi Bautik, Adi Devik.
That's right. Thank you. So, yeah.
This is the process of accepting a spiritual master. One should approach a spiritual master humbly, submit to him, and then inquire from him about one's spiritual progress. The Lord was pleased by Sanatan's submissive behavior, and he replied, You have already been blessed by Lord Krishna, and therefore you know everything and are free from all the miseries of material existence. Yet, even though due to your Krishna consciousness, you have naturally achieved the grace of Krishna and are thus already conversant with everything. Because you are humble devotee, you are asking me to confirm what you have already realized. This is very nice. These are the characteristics of true devotee. In Naradiya Purana, it is said that by the grace of Lord, one who is very serious about developing Krishna consciousness has his desire to understand Krishna fulfilled very soon.
So then, Lord Chaitanya, he's pleased by the humility of Sanatan Goswami, and also he's telling Sanatan that you already have the grace of Krishna. You're already a pure devotee. And yet, what you have already realized, you just want to reconfirm it with me. Because Sanatan Goswami, of course, he's a pure devotee. That's why he's even able to ask such questions. So, Lord Chaitanya is saying that you just want to reconfirm what you have realized. Then in the Naradiya Purana, what is said? That by the grace of the Lord, one who is very serious about developing Krishna consciousness has his desire to understand Krishna fulfilled very soon. So we should just have that desire. Just a desire. Let me somehow or the other be able to develop Krishna consciousness. We may not be able to because of, we are after all in the material world, we have our attachments. But if we simply have this desire, we can attract the grace of Krishna by that desire. And by Krishna's mercy, we will be able to become Krishna conscious.
You are a suitable person to take up the devotional service of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Therefore, it is my duty to instruct you in the science of God, and I will explain everything to you step by step. It is the duty of the
I'm sorry, just one moment. So Lord Chaitanya is not saying, oh God, something is beyond you. You will not be able to understand, God is so esoteric, such an esoteric subject is beyond you. You cannot understand it. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, yes, I will explain to you everything. That this is what a spiritual master, he knows the science of Krishna. He knows the science of God. And a spiritual master, should know the science of God, should know the science of Krishna. And that's why he's called so. So he's saying, yeah, I'll explain to you everything step by step, because some people say, oh, you will not be able to understand. It's something beyond you, in time. No. All the information, all the knowledge is there.
It is the duty of a disciple to inquire about his constitutional position when approaching a spiritual master, in conformity to that spiritual process. Sanatan has already asked, what am I and why am I suffering from the threefold miseries? The threefold miseries are called Adhyatmika, Adhidaitika, and Adhidaivika. The word Adhyatmika refers to those miseries caused by the body and mind. Sometimes the living entity suffers physically and sometimes he is distressed mentally. Both are Adhyatmika miseries. We experience these miseries even in the womb of our mother. In general, there are many types of misery that take advantage of the delicate human body and give us pain. Miseries inflicted by other living entities are called adhibhautika. For example, bedbugs can make us miserable while we are sleeping. The creatures can also sometimes give us pain, and there are other living entities born on different planets who can cause us misery. As far as adhidaivika miseries are concerned, these originate with the demigods of the higher planets. For instance, we sometimes suffer from severe cold weather, from thunderbolts, or from earthquakes, tornadoes, droughts, or other natural disasters. In any case, we are always suffering from one or more of these three kinds of miseries.
So these three miseries are there. My own mind body, caused by others, or caused by natural disasters. Now, the point to understand is every moment we are suffering from either one or more of these three kind of miseries. That is the nature of this material world. And yet we are thinking we are going to be permanently happy here. We are unable to see that every moment we are inflicted by either one or more of these three kind of miseries.
Sanatan's inquiry was therefore an intelligent one. What is the position of the living entities, and why are they always undergoing these three kinds of misery? Sanatan had admitted his weaknesses. Although he was known by the masses of people as a greatly learned man, and he actually was a highly learned Sanskrit scholar, and although he had accepted this designation, he did not know what his constitutional position was or why he was subjected to the threefold misery.
So, we just accept the miseries. We say, well, that's the nature of the world. What to do, that's how it is. Time will pass, time will heal. But Sanatan Goswami is saying, why am I suffering? Why should I suffer? What's happening? Is there a way that I can put an end to this suffering? And he wants to know, who am I? The constitutional position. Who am I? Why am I suffering? So,
Approaching a spiritual master is not just a passion, but is a necessity for one who is seriously conscious of the material miseries and who wants to be free of them. It is a duty of such a person to approach a spiritual master. In this regard, we should note Arjuna's similar circumstances in Bhagavad Gita. When he was perplexed by so many problems involving whether to fight or not, he accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master. As with Lord Chaitanya's instructing Sanatan Goswami, the Bhagavad Gita is also a reference of Supreme Spiritual Master, instructing his disciple about the constitutional position of the living entity.
so Prabhupada is saying, even the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is Arjuna. He accepts himself as he accepts Krishna as his spiritual master, and he submits himself as a disciple. He says, enough this friendly talks. Now I submit myself to you. I accept you as my spiritual master. You kindly instruct me, because he didn't know what to do, what is his duty, what he shall do, what he should not do. There's so many problems he was facing, so much dilemma, so much confusion. So Prabhupada is saying it's not a fashion to just have a spiritual master. It's for someone who's really serious to have the correct knowledge. Somebody who's conscious of the material miseries and who wants to be free of them. Most of us are not even conscious that we are suffering. We don't even realize we are suffering. We are just going about trying to get our whatever happiness that we can. But when one really understands, hey, I'm suffering, why? I want to get free of this. Then that's the point. That's when we get the correct instructions.
In the Bhagavad Gita, we are informed that the constitutional nature of individual entity is spirit soul. He is not matter. As spirit soul, he is part and parcel of Supreme Soul, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. We also learn that it is the duty of the spirit soul to surrender to the Supreme Soul, for only then can he be happy. The last instruction of Bhagavad Gita is that the spirit soul should surrender completely unto the Supreme Soul, Krishna, and in that way realize happiness.
So we, the living entity, what is our nature? We are the
spirit soul.
Yeah. So that means we are not
We're not the body.
Yeah. We are not body, we are not matter, but we are spirit. We are keeping on thinking, oh, I'm the body, everything related to the body is mine. We are not able to understand, hey, but I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul. And as the spirit soul, we are
Part and parcel of the Supreme Soul.
That's right. Thank you. And so, what is the duty? If we are part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, then what is our duty?
Surrender to Supreme.
Yeah. And only then can we be happy, because we are part and parcel. We are not able to understand that. We keep thinking we are the body, we are separate, we are independent of Krishna. That's the reason Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita, he says to Arjuna that you should surrender. Surrender unto me, Krishna is saying to Arjuna. And only that way we will be able to realize happiness. Now, one may say, no, but happiness means material. No, the soul is Anandamaya Bhyasat. The soul is eternally happy, is always happy. But right now, because we are thinking we are the body, we are miserable. So when we can understand again our real position, we will be happy again.
Here also Lord Chaitanya, answering the questions of Sanatan, repeats the same truth. There is a difference, however. Here Lord Chaitanya does not give the information about the spirit soul that is already described in Bhagavad Gita. Rather, he begins from the point where Krishna ended his instruction. It is accepted by great devotees that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and as such he begins his instruction to Sanatan from the point where he ended his instructions to Arjuna in the Gita.
So Lord Chaitanya begins his instructions from where Lord Krishna ended it. Lord Krishna says, you surrender unto me. And Lord Chaitanya begins from that point. Because he's already given the knowledge, the basic knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, no? So no need to again repeat that same knowledge. So this is like a postgraduate study, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
Your constitutional position is that you are pure living soul, the Lord told Sanatan. Your material body is not your real self, nor is your mind your real identity, nor your intelligence, nor your false ego. Your identity is that of an eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Your position is that you are transcendental. The superior energy of Krishna is spiritual in constitution, and the inferior external energy is material. Since you are between the material energy and spiritual energy, the position is marginal. Belonging to the marginal potency of Krishna, you are simultaneously one with different from him. Because you are spirit, you are not different from Krishna. But because you are only a minute particle of Krishna, you are different from him.
So Lord Chaitanya is immediately pointing out what is really the position of the soul. Here he's saying you're a pure living soul. You're not the body, you're a living soul. You're not even your mind. We think, okay, maybe the body is not me, but then we identify ourselves with our mind. But Lord Chaitanya is saying your mind is also not your real identity, neither intelligence. And then we identify ourselves as the false with our false ego. He's saying even your false ego is not your identity. What is your identity?
Servitor of the Supreme.
Yeah. Yeah, eternal servitor, eternal. So it's not that we are a servitor of Lord Krishna, that we have this eternal loving relationship with Krishna only for 1 year, 2 years, or only till the time we are in this human body. No, it's an eternal loving relationship that we have with Krishna. A relationship which never breaks, never breaks. And that he's saying that our position, he's saying the position of the spirit soul is, what's the position?
Transcendental.
Transcendental. Yeah. We are thinking we are the body. It's so difficult for us to understand. Oh, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. But we have forgotten. But here Lord Chaitanya is giving him the highest knowledge. He's giving him the position of the soul. Not only saying, yeah, your soul, but then, okay, but who does the soul belong to? Soul belongs to Krishna. What is the position of the soul? The soul is an eternal servitor of Krishna. And this is the Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Simultaneous one and not different from him. So they are said that how many kinds of and Krishna has many energies, but broadly it's divided into three. Broadly it's three. Does anyone remember which three?
Superior energy, material energy, and marginal.
Yes. So, which energy do we belong to?
Marginal.
And what does that mean?
We are between both, right? The inferior and the
That's
superior.
right. That's right. That we need to take shelter of either the spiritual or the material. Sometimes we are taking shelter of spiritual, sometimes material. Because we are so tiny, we need to take shelter of either the material or the spiritual energy. Actually, we are spiritual. But because we have this freedom, then we sometimes choose the material energy. And that's why we come to the material world. Now, simultaneously one with Krishna and different from Krishna, that is Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So, how is it one with Krishna? How one with Krishna?
Qualitatively, we are one with Krishna. In quality,
Yes, that's right. And how we are different?
Krishna is Krishna is supreme, and we are part and parcel. We are minute.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Thank you. We are minute part of Krishna. Krishna is the complete whole. He's supreme, as you said. He's unlimited. So that's how we are different from him, and we are same with him because we are part of him. So, we are same. Spirit. Krishna is supreme spirit. We are also spirit. So then,
This simultaneous oneness and difference always exist in relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Law. From the fact that the living entities are always in the marginal position, this conception of simultaneously one and different can be understood. The living entity is just like a molecular particle of sunshine, whereas Krishna is like the blazing sun itself. Lord Chaitanya also compared the living entities to sparks in a fire and the Supreme Lord to the blazing fire itself. In this connection, the Lord cited a verse from the Vishnu Purana.
We'll stop here for a moment. So what two examples are given in this verse to help us understand the relationship between the living entity and Krishna?
You're always in the marginal position.
Molecule, particle of sunshine.
Molecular particle of sunshine. That's right. And whereas Krishna is?
The
Sun.
blazing sun.
Blazing
The
sun.
sun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Krishna, like we see the sun planet. So the fire, the heat that is there, the light that is there in the sun planet, compared to one molecule of sunshine, quality is the same. One molecule also sunshine has this light and heat. Yeah, but quantity is completely different, no? From the sun planet and one molecule of sunshine. And another example that is given is
Sparks in a fire.
that's right. The living entities are sparks of a fire, but whereas Krishna is
The fire.
yeah,
Blazing fire.
blazing fire itself. So again, the heat and light and the full fire is so much more than just a tiny spark. That's how we can understand. So now we can read the verse from the Vishnu Purana.
Ekadesha stitasya ज्योत्स्ना विस्तारिणी यथा परस्य ब्रह्मांड शक्ति तथेदम akhilam jagat. Everything manifested within this cosmic world is but the energy of Supreme Lord. As fire situated in one place spreads its illumination and heat all around, so the Lord, although situated in one place in the spiritual world, manifests his different energies everywhere. Indeed, the whole cosmic creation is but a manifestation of his various energies.
So Vishnu Purana is saying that everything that we are seeing in this material world, everything and anything is one of Krishna's energies. So there is nothing or no one that is not related to Krishna. Everything, everyone has his relation with Krishna as one of his energies.
Lord Chaitanya continued citing the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61. The Supreme Lord's original energy is transcendental and spiritual, and the living entities are part and parcel of that energy. There is a third energy, however, called material energy, which is covered by the cloud of ignorance. This energy, which is material nature, is divided into three modes or gunas: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Lord Chaitanya then quoted another verse from Vishnu Purana 1.3.2 to the effect that all inconceivable energies reside in Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that the whole cosmic manifestation acts due to those energies.
So we are actually a part of the spiritual energy. We are spirit souls, no? We are not material. We are inside this material body, but our position is that we are spirit souls. So we are part of that spiritual energy. But because we are so tiny, then sometimes we are choosing this material energy. We get captured by her. And then she rules us by the three
modes of nature, gunas.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Three modes of nature or the gunas. So then Lord Chaitanya is saying another verse in Vishnu Puran that no matter all the energies, they belong to Krishna. Be it material, be it spiritual, be it the marginal, all energies belong to Krishna. And that this whole manifestation is working because of Krishna's energies. And Krishna's energies are inconceivable. If we try to understand through our mundane mind, we will not be able to understand it. Why? Because after all, our mind is limited. Krishna is spiritual, so we need to hear from the authorities. Yeah, we hear and then we try to understand it with logic, with intelligence, with proper intelligence. But we cannot imagine something. That's the point to understand. Are there any questions or comments? No? Then let's stop here for today. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhattavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for